Holy cow, it's been a while, Tom, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's way too long. I'll shoulder some of that. I feel like it's been a minute.
We got on such a good roll to start things off, and then the holidays hit, and I don't think they really stopped. And here we are. We're past the midpoint of first quarter. So we're calling it season 2 for those that are listening or watching us. And hey, life happens. It's all good.
I did not realize, like when you said that, I thought you misspoke. I looked down at my calendar. I was like, "There's no way we're past the midpoint on first quarter." It's like the first eighth is done and dusted. Well, I mean, let's positive change. Let's start this thing off. We're calling this season 2. So 2026, we're kicking off season 2. This is our kickoff episode, and we're going to kick this thing off and just kind of talk about what our goals are for this year. Talk about what happened over the holidays. Give a bit of a preview, and we'll dive into a couple of our favorite topics. So let's make this thing real.
Awesome, love it. What was your big highlight from the holidays?
Big highlight for the holidays was not skiing. It is a desert out here. I've golfed more this ski season than I've golfed. But big holiday, spent time with a lot of family. Saw a bunch of different family members and just had a great old holiday. It was perfect. Nothing special, which made it special. You?
Nice. Yeah. All the kids came home. I say came home. One lives away. The other one lives here. One lives close. But they were all here for Christmas, which was great. Just because we had basically a whole week together of not having to do anything. Everybody could get up when they wanted to get up and just relax and chill and hang out and watch some movies and talk and just catch up on life. It's so different. You'll get there, but in this empty nesting phase, even with an adult child who's here, he's sort of in his own little world, his own little bubble.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, it's weird. I can ask him to do stuff and he cooks and he participates and this and that and the other, but then it's like poof, gone. So it was really nice to have them all here. And then January came along and bam, here we are back at it.
Yeah, this year got shot out of a cannon. Some years you kind of like cruise into it. Holiday was a nice break, but it's been just go at my work. And I mean, I feel like I've accomplished more in the first 6 weeks than I have, in half a year sometimes. So this year's awesome. 2026 is just absolutely cooking.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know you were telling me like your fiscal year end is January, which I'd never heard of, but I guess makes sense. It gives you some extra gear to turn into for the first month of the year.
Yeah, I'm only 24 days into our fiscal, so it's kind of it's nice in a lot of ways, but it's also like go in a lot of ways. But I mean, business is good. Taking care of frontline workers is a hot topic these days. So we're doing the Lord's work out there.
Yeah, and on my end, I think this year compared to last, I've got workshops that I'm running with some clients, and those just they started right in the first week of the year, and so off and running we went. Versus last year was probably a good 3-4 weeks before things started to move. So it was exciting to have this stuff already lined up, and clients who want to learn, want to engage, want to tell you their stories, and get some insights onto what other people are doing in the world. So it's really shown me that people have a thirst to change and grow and evolve. Some of that's just nature of business, but some of it's, hey, no, we're here. We want to do stuff. So I'm inspired by that. I like to see that hope and gleam in their eyes. So
yeah, let's lean into that a little bit. Let's talk some shop before we get into kind of what's upcoming. I know there's some trends. Everyone's got their trends and what's coming out 2026. Like, what are you hearing from your clients? Like, what are the biggest fears from the clients you're working with right now?
I would say the most common thing that's coming up amongst all my clients and all my discussions, and this goes back 6-12 months, people are afraid to face the bully in the office, right? Office, manufacturing, whatever. I say office as the workplace. They're afraid to stand up to them. And now they're starting to build some confidence around how to have those conversations the right way, even though they should have had them 6, 12, 18 months ago. You can't change that. you gotta take now. And so they're feeling inspired and equipped to deal with that stuff, but there's still a little bit of fear in and around. You've got a high performer, right? They're excelling, they're doing 10-20% better than everybody else on the results end, but they're making everybody else feel like garbage. Like, how is that a culture ad? I'm like, that person needs to go. It's worse when it's the boss, when it's the manager or the owner. Like, how, I don't understand how that functions. But that's been probably the number one trend of conversation that I've been running into for the last 6-8 weeks.
Wow, that's crazy. For me, that's always been the easiest thing to solve, just naturally. Like, I don't know if it's just coming out of the sales world and it's more of a culture, managing sales teams, but that was always like a non-starter. I've said proudly, I've fired more top performers on teams than almost anything else. It's not because I'm trying to shoot myself in the foot, but top performers tend to also have really huge ego in some cases, have entitlement in a lot of cases, and will absolutely destroy your team. And all of a sudden, yes, they're your top performer, but your other 4 performers go
They all drop.
backwards.
Yeah,
And they go
drop
backwards
10,
in a
15,
percentage
20%.
that is greater than the lift of that top performer. So for me, that's always just been a nip it in the bud immediately, quickly, and then move on. I think the longer you let that happen, the harder it is to correct.
No, and I can remember being that twerp in my mid-20s. I was a high performer. I hit numbers and blew them out of the water. In my young and dumb years, I let it go to my head. Thought I was smarter than everybody else and acted like it. Eventually, I came back down to earth. But now you see people who've got grown adults, and I say adults, 20 years in the workforce plus. They know better. They've been allowed to get away with this crap, and now they're shocked that they're getting called on the carpet about it. I'm like, how are you surprised? Now you're surprised that the person's got the guts to stand up now and do something about it, because now they kind of see the impact, even just the numbers. You think about the opportunity lost because everyone else is underperforming and all the people that you lost along the way.
So, how do you fix that afterwards, right? Because then you start holding that person accountable and they go, wait a second. You've never said this before. This has never been a problem before. This has never been addressed before. Like, how do you address things that you haven't addressed, that you as a company or you as leadership team have let pass without now creating a new issue on your own side?
I think you have to own the fact that you should have addressed it. If I'm talking to a client, I'm telling them, you got to own that you dropped the ball on this and you're trying to clean slate it. But then you do have to give them that clean slate, right? If you're going to say, all right, we're starting from ground zero now. No more swearing at your coworkers or giving snide remarks, right? It's kind of like you see the other duties as assigned or team player in the job descriptions. They never look at that. They look at the other 60% of the job description and think, oh, they're hitting their numbers. Let them do what they want to do. And they're a high performer. I've been in organizations where the high performers got away with murder. And I think you just have to call it like it is. We should have fixed it. We didn't. We're going to start fresh now, but then you got to be that way with everybody.
Yeah. Then the consistency has to be doubly consistent at that point, because then you start getting into some outlier territory once you address.
Yeah, and I think you see it a little bit more. I don't have stats behind this, but my feeling is that with companies that don't have an HR presence, they have HR, but that person isn't your traditional fractional or full-time HR person. They've sort of inherited some of the duties for paperwork purposes, but they're afraid of the policy police. And so they don't want to go down this rabbit hole. But we've always been flexible. I'm like, things are changing, right? You can't have the keg by punch clock forever.
Here. Speaking of punch clock, a big trend, and that's something we're going to talk a lot about this year, is trends, terms. Season 1, we said we're not going to talk about the terminology, the quiet quittings, and then we talked about it every week. So we're going to continue to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it and punch some holes into it.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I enjoy it because it sort of lets us get on our soapbox and ramble about different things and give our feelings about it. But it's funny how many people agree with us. I shouldn't say it's funny. It's sort of like I expected more people to argue with us, but they don't.
So we got a new one that's coming back, a boomerang term, coffee badging. What do you know about coffee badging? Have you ever coffee badged?
Well, when I saw that headline, my first reaction was, are they getting like a punch card at the coffee counter where like, you get 10 and you get a free coffee?
So literal.
The only thing I can think of. I'm like, what is this? What is this madness he's proposing? But no, tell me more.
Well, coffee badging. It's you pop in, swipe your badge, check into your seat, grab a coffee, and then you're back off on your day. Oh, essentially, I think it's the article that I found. It's in Forbes, so we're not pulling off some Reddit stuff here. It's back. What generation? I'm going to ask you some questions about this. I know you haven't read the full article. What generation is leading coffee badging today, according to Forbes?
I'm going to guess the Gen Xers.
No, the Gen Z.
Mm.
The to heck with you, I'm going to do it the way I want to do it.
Interesting.
I know. Gen X, come on. We show up on time. We do our stuff. Why are you throwing us at it?
I think so. Reading into that first part of the article, I had a coffee badger. We'll talk about that. But that whole gist of converting to hybrid work environments and so forth, I saw so many of them that just struggled with it. That's why I went that route. I figured the millennials and so forth, the younger generations, are so adept and adaptable to work from anywhere that they would just kind of jump on board. But who knows? It was a mere guess, so I'm fascinated.
All right, number 2 question for you. What's the number one reason for coffee badging? It's like Family Feud.
They don't want to be told what to do. They want the freedom to be able to, they don't buy into this return to work, return to the office. I don't want to say nonsense. In some places it's helpful. And I don't necessarily subscribe to that everybody needs to be 100% in office, nor do they need to be 100% at home. I think you can be productive in both. But I think there are folks who just realize they are way more effective at home. And those are the ones that are rebelling because you're making them come in to have meetings on the computer at work, which is silly. If you're going to have me on the screen all day and not talk to me and give me purpose for being in the office, why am I even here?
That's it. Protest. You kind of hit all 3. You talked enough that I think you got like the top 3 in there.
Right.
Yeah. Number 1 is protest. It's like, screw you. You're making me come back to the office. Like, I can get as much done at home. Number 2 is flexibility. We're used to working anywhere. We know how to balance our lives. Like, I can still be flexible and do this. Number 3, commuting expense. Okay, fine. I'm going to come back to the office. But before, remember, it was like work 9 to 5, but you'd be in the car at 7:30, drive in, park, get your coffee, do whatever, be at your desk by 9, out at 5, home at 6, 6:30, eat dinner. I think people now are going, all right, yeah, 9 to 5. I'm used to at home working from 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 and then going straight to eating dinner. And now people are building that commute into the workday. I'm going to travel off peak. I can get home quicker, and I can still get home at 5 o'clock when I'm used to being done when I worked at home remotely.
I can remember in my field travel timeline where I would set certain days, my client visits and appointments, in and around that commute window. If I knew that I had conference calls, I didn't mind having them at 4 o'clock. I just took them from the car because I may as well be traveling while I'm doing that. If I don't have to write anything down or present anything, if I'm just a participant and can listen and chime in, great. I can do that while driving. Now with Zoom, a whole lot different world. I laugh at the Zoom images you see now with like somebody's grilling outside while having like work from anywhere. The guy's grilling and working from the backyard barbecue. But yeah, that's there's a fine line there between taking advantage and just maneuvering the schedule, I think.
All right, so here's the fine line, right? Tuesday, you're supposed to be in office. Leave at 8 o'clock, get there at 9:15. No one's really watching it because the company's just curious it's hybrid. Get in at 9:15, do your meetings. You have a 1 to 2 window. There's no traffic. You just leave at 1 o'clock, drive home, and then take calls at home from 2 to 5. Still do your full workday. You just moved that commute back up. So you've checked into the office, you've done your workday, but then you also take the afternoon back at home so the commute's over with. Is that coffee badging?
I think you're staying longer, so no. I think if you punched in and left, I'll put some time parameters. I think if you're punching out or jetting out of there in the first hour, then yes. Certainly the rolling in at 9:15, that's a little different. Like if you were an early riser and did some work from home and then went in, like still put your work in for the day. That's the thing. Is like I think what you're describing are folks that are just milking it.
Yep. I got something kind of adjacent. We just at my job, we just rolled out something called Ro.am. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's like a digital office where when I come online, I'm in my office, and then anybody else can come in and knock on my door and just boom, pop on it, and then they're talking to me in my office. Or they can say, let's have a meeting, and then we go into a virtual meeting room and have a Zoom call together.
It's sort of the next evolution of Slack or Teams.
So, the goal is employee engagement. We can all connect to each other. We all know where people are. Oh, Tom's available. I can jump in and just ask him this question. It's trying to bridge that gap. But then there's also the glass half empty of like all metrics of who's where, when are they in, are they clocking, are they putting themselves in their office at the beginning of the day, are they at the end of the day?
Well, and then the next stage of that is how do I rig the system so that way I'm in online, but I'm not actually at my desk or anything like that. It's sort of the moving mouse mechanism.
Yeah, I'm pretty open to it. Like, I actually see the benefit. I'm like, all right, this is cool. I can see who is where, and it literally visually shows you. So you start building this, like, we're all working together. Like, I think it's actually really, really cool. And I'm giving it a chance and trying to use it, but I'm good at coming on in the morning, but I always forget to like leave at the end of the day. And that is the one I'm like, am I worried that someone's gonna be like, Tom, you didn't leave at the end of the day? Like now all of your office time is like bunk, and we don't like trust that you're there. I don't think we're using it that way, but like that is the stuff that gets in my head with this program. So I think it's part cool, but I'm also like, wow, this is where we're at today. I've never seen anything like this in today's.
Yeah, but I think if you start with just, all right, my mornings, I'm going to get into my digital room, right? In the afternoon, I'm going to punch off of it, but I'll come join another room. I'm only punching off because I'm going to forget. But if everybody has a room in the morning, then you know where to find people. I think that's the biggest, one of the biggest qualms with the hybrid or remote piece is that the higher ups that are concerned, are people actually working? They don't know where to find you. They're not being able to walk through the hall and say hi or shadow and that sort of thing. And there's some trust factors going into that for sure. But if you tell folks I'm going to be in my digital room, I met a woman last year. She has sort of an academic environment, not a traditional 4-year college, but different learning environment where she built something like that, where they had like digital classrooms, and you could almost like, if you remember, there was a 3D game, Doom. Am I thinking right?
Doom? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you'd walk down a hallway and take a left, and that a little better graphics than that, but that was kind of the gist. You walked into this room, you walked across campus, you went into the campus center, you went into the library, and you'd see people it was an avatar, but you'd see people in there. I'm like, that's really neat.
Yeah, it's kind of what it feels like. You can see, and then when we do like team meetings, like there's an auditorium and everyone's in it, and like I can talk to only the people in my row, and it randomly puts people in rows. It's like it's kind of fun.
I like it.
It's pretty cool. And I know for me, like the reason I don't worry about clocking in or out is if someone pings me on Slack at 9:00 at night, I'm going to respond. If they ping me at 7:30, I'm like, that's just how I am. So I don't really worry about having to like play the game or, like, where's Tom? I'm like, whether I'm
You're
at my desk
your
or
phone
not,
to see if the Nuggets
work,
won or whatever anyway. So
yeah, exactly. Anyways, Rome, check it out. It's kind of the workplace of today. I think that's kind of a pushback on coffee badging, or trying to figure out how to like bring some organizational structure and control back. So I'll keep you posted as it goes. I'm actually pretty interested.
Yeah, that's not. It's the evolution
in
of
this
tech.
experiment.
And like I said, I see what you described sounds to me like the next step of Teams or Slack, and maybe there's a version of you in that room that's digital, as in I'm on a call, but I'm here in the room. It's sort of like you're on the phone. But as soon as you take your headphones on, your actual head takes that place, kind of like the Teams. And Teams, you can kind of do the gallery where everybody's in a
Yeah.
seat, and then you can see me and I can wave
Well,
and all that good stuff.
there's an AI assistant that comes with it that you get to name it. I named mine The One and put a Keanu Reeves Matrix character, like The One as my assistant. But you can like have it set up to like auto respond on certain things. And so
That's fun. That's
I've
fun.
stepped into the workplace of the future. It's pretty cool.
I would have so much fun messing with people on those things, trying to rename their avatars and their assistants, and I get myself in so much trouble.
You have an avatar and you have an assistant. What's its name?
Sloppy or something, just like way
Sloppy.
sloppy. Hey, Sloppy, clean up this mess.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Is that a R2D2 new behind you, by the way?
Yeah, it's a little
I was noticing
refrigerator. It actually it holds some sodas. It holds 6 soda cans.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Christmas present?
Yeah. Not super practical, but fun.
Yeah, that thing's sweet. Yeah. I had to ask, sorry.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this season. Let's tell people what's upcoming. So season 2, we do have guests. We have a good set. We have Jeffrey Shapiro, VP in the talent acquisition space, known him a long time. Just a great guy. Has very strong opinions about the good and bad in work, in talent acquisition, and just humanity. He's one of those kind of people I met in COVID and was like, man, I like this guy. I like the cut of his jib. And
there is a batch of people on that recruiting side. There's really strong, good, intended recruiters, and there's a whole dearth of bad recruiters. And those of us that have lived and breathed in that space know exactly what that looks like and feels like, because there's always the cream of the crop and the people that you would actually, hey, I can't fill this job. I'm going to give this to my friend over at this other company, right? I know they can help you out. I'm overtaxed, whatever. You have those 2 or 3 people that you would go to. And then everyone else, you're like, screw that. I don't want to touch that. And so I'm really excited to hear because I saw his LinkedIn post recently and 19 shares. It was like crazy number.
He went viral adjacent, we'll call it. We'll talk to him about it. Like, what was our agenda? What are we going to be talking to Jeffrey about?
So we wanted to talk about some TA components. I think one of the things I like about him is he speaks very clear and very upfront about that recruiting world, right? We were going to talk about the candidate lens, helping job seeker with some ideas about what it's like on the other side from the TA side. We're going to talk about AI and some of the bias components. And then one of the things, I know you and I were talking about this in the pregame here, to AI or not AI, meaning it's okay that us as recruiters use AI to filter resumes, but it's not okay that a candidate uses AI to frame up their resume or their cover letter or their thank you message or email or anything like that. Why is that?
I think companies are always going to flex that they're in control. Kind of like that Ro.am thing we're talking about. I don't think that's what we're doing at my company, but I think it's a control thing, right? Like what's good for the goose is not good for the gander. It's like the parent, like do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. I think that it's hard to get that out of people. It's like a human, you know what? Can we do a bit? Can we do a bit?
Yeah.
I'm going to open up Chat GPT. We're going to do Let's Ask Chat GPT.
Love it. We talked about that early on. We haven't used it too much. So this is good. Good start to season 2.
Can I share screen in this thing?
Yeah, down in the bottom. Right.
Yeah, here we go.
Leave button. Don't hit leave.
I'm gonna share screen. Window. There we go. All right. Can you guys can we see this in real time?
Something's happening. What are you working on?
Is it not showing you?
It's just saying, what are you working on? And it's got a little box in there, which I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah. I typed in the prompt. What's the story? Let's zoom in a little bit here. What's the story with companies using AI to screen resumes but not allowing candidates to leverage AI to improve resumes? Let's see what GPT says. This is one of my favorite. My wife has asked when my honeymoon with my GPT agent is, because I use
it's your pseudo best friend.
I have zero emotional connection, but I can tell you, I feel like I get masterclass, like consultant, like big four consultant level coaching every day with this thing.
Well, it just prompts you with different ideas that you probably would have come up with some of them. And if you had a real life, I was thinking about this earlier today, it gives you a sounding board to just kind of play with ideas. It's like the sandbox. When you're on your island, like I'm on my island a lot, so I talk to myself and I talk to the dogs that I watch. Like, who else am I going to talk to? So this is your sort of counterpoint.
I mean, you can even look like island hopping in Greece. See, I got everything in here. All right,
so see all your chat prompts.
So what's GPT say? This is the biggest quietly happening labor market fight right now. It's one of them. They're not looking at resumes faster. They built the new front door of employment. Oh, wow. I like that. AI ranking layer, blah, blah, blah. Important part, a human never sees 70 to 90% of applicants. Yeah, I'd say that's probably real. That's something true. I want to talk to Jeffrey more about. I think that's in your wheelhouse, right?
Yeah. I would agree with that. I mean, that was true without the AI. You get 500, his post, which he put up, I don't know if it was today or whatnot, but talked about 500 applicants in one post. You do that on LinkedIn, you get 500 applicants. Are you looking at them all? No. Your tool is going to screen out, or you're going to get through the first 50 of them and realize you found qualified candidates and you're going to stop.
Well, and this is why I like the AI here, right? Like, your resume is no longer read, it's classified. And then it literally shows in code the classifications. Like you're applying to a sorting algorithm now. You're not applying to a job. You're not applying to a company. You're applying to a sorting algorithm. Like, that's pretty wild when you put it in context like that, right? Like, I know our company has AI in the ATS. Like, ATS systems, like, all have that. But, like, it is kind of crazy when you peel it back and start, like, talking about it with what it really is now.
Did you ever have to do like career advice, resume advice in your past?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I don't know, agree, disagree, but I know when I would do that for like colleges, some of the career schools, even job fairs where you're doing the freebie advice stuff, we always lean into this conversation of the top half of your resume, the top of the fold, like the old newspaper. For you kids, that's a big giant piece of paper that's really thin with lots of print on it. Shows up in your driveway. Some kid throws it from a bicycle. But your resume, the top half of it, needed to match what was in that job description and in that order. Otherwise, you're throwing chance out the window. I mean, to me, it makes complete sense to take that approach, because if I'm a recruiter in my recruiter days, I'm looking at what the client's asking for. Skill A, skill B, skill C, skill D, right? Do you have it? If I've matched my resume correctly, I pointed that out in that language. I've done A, B, C, D. If I haven't, I always told folks, you want to be either in the yes or the maybe pile. Your first goal is not to be in the no.
Yep, I hear that.
And I'm guessing that's what these classifications are doing, but now we're automating it. It's going 100 miles an hour.
This is the thing, it's saying it's more focused on who should we not interview than who we should. So, all right, so that's that side. Let's look at the flip side. So why the pushback against candidates using it? Because it breaks the model. AI screening assumes resumes reflect the real signal, but AI-assisted resumes change the input. So AI tools strengthen verbs. So now mediocre candidates look strong. Strong candidates look elite. The ranking model collapses. So again, it's just... this is like an age-old thing, but like, I get there's 400 people applying now because it's remote. You can hire to the whole country. I get and I get the optimization that AI provides. But really, like, I'm getting some clarity here. Is like, it's that scrolling back up here. It's who should we not interview? It's a classified structure of data, and then when you use it, you break their model.
How dare we?
We can get down this more with
because we're going to talk about the bias part of that too. Yeah. So some of the other guests,
me. We'll go back, but I wanted to go down that road.
Yeah, I like it.
I'll stop sharing. Who's our next guest?
So we're going to have Claire Stroh. She's closer to me, but you probably met her in person first. You actually had her on your old show, and she came out to Denver and did a live recording on your Tom's Engaging HR.
We barely avoided a major snow or a thunderstorm. We're sitting on the back deck of this resort in Broomfield, Colorado. And all of a sudden, like, it came over the top of the building. We were like, "Oh my God, quick, wrap this thing up." We're like running to our cars. But yeah, Claire's amazing. She's probably the busiest. She's got a motor, man. Like, I don't know a lot of people that have a motor like Claire.
It's when I met her again around the same time I met you, but because she's in Buffalo, which is only a few hours away, and my two of my boys went to Buffalo, so I was trying to small talk my way into getting to know somebody through the mutual city connection, and then she moves to Denver for a little while. Anyway, fabulous. I've gotten to know her over the years. I run into her at our state SHRM conference every year, and it's always great to see her and catch up and say hello. And so we're going to be bringing her on, talking about her experiences at ATI where she's at now. But she's also if you didn't know this, she's also an adjunct instructor.
I did see that
at a college out that way. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about a little bit about her motor and what keeps her moving. So we've got a few highlights on what we're going to dive into with Miss Claire. So I'm excited to have her on. And then we're also going to bring in your buddy, Kevin Schaff, right? Author of The Fear Advantage.
Yeah, I think it's anytime someone I know writes a book, I'm always like super curious about who, what, why, when, where, right? You get close enough, you can ask all the in-depth questions. So I've got a ton of questions for the author, but I actually really love the topic here. And the book's called The Fear Advantage, and essentially it's really utilizing fear. Like, everybody has fear, the people that overcome fear. Like, how do you turn that into your advantage? And it talks about inflection points, lots of actual examples about Netflix and Google, and real business examples where the companies are at risk of losing it all. And instead of running from the fear, they analyze it, use that fear as an opportunity to have clarity and chart a new path. And it's really easy read. There's a lot of different examples. So I'm super excited to actually talk to him in person.
Yeah, I want to learn about his research because it just came out around Christmas time too, right? So it's very recent, and it weaves in the AI conversation, which is great because we have to talk about AI everywhere. That's sort of a must-have these days.
Well, everyone's got fear about AI, right? Like, yeah. You can say you don't, but everyone has fear about AI. The question is, how are you dealing with your fear about AI?
Yeah, mine is Cyberdyne, and I've given up. I'm like, I will be dead by the time that impacts us. So, I pray for my kids.
Did you see the Chinese New Year robots?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Creepy. They were incredible. Like, the ones last year were kind of like toys. These ones, I was like, this thing could kick my ass. They're like straight up ninjas. You put a gun in there, like, get out of here.
Right. No interest. Now we're in the Iron Man world with Iron Man bots and Hammer Industries and all that stuff. Like, all we got to do is we got to watch Star Trek, and that's going to predict the future.
Yeah, I'm not scared of AI taking my job. I'm scared of the AI robots being unleashed with their own sentient ability to talk to a mother computer and do it, like, all that kind of stuff. Definitely, like, again, I grew up on Cyberdyne and watching Terminator and all that growing up. So, like, I think Gen X is like, we've been watching these movies
well, you gotta imagine years, that some
but it's crazy getting there,
right? You think about the hackers out there and how they can hack into this database and this school and the grading systems and the banks and da 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 da. At some point, they're going to be able to hack the interfaces for these robots and command them to do certain things. And it'll be sort of a sleeper cell kind of thing. That cyber terrorism sort of thing will actually, it's going to become a reality at some point. It's just when and what safeguards.
No, when the robots hack themselves and do it. It's not when a person's breaking it, like when the robots use their own AI to hack themselves, like that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. What was that movie? Yeah. iRobot?
Yeah, so we can talk to Kevin about, like, how to deal with that fear. Like, how do I turn them shooting me to death into a business productive situation?
That's awesome. Yeah, he should have like a B-roll on his book for that stuff. Yeah, so those are the few upcoming guests. We've got some others that are coming down the pike, but those are the next few guests that we're going to have in our conversation wheelhouse. We're still prompting. You and I have talked about SpeakPipe, which we thought is a fantastic tool. It's sort of the call-in tool, but it's a website link. And we had a few of them in the first few episodes. We're still scouring for folks. Give us your stories.
Yeah, like everyone wants to tell the stories. This is like anonymous. Like, I feel like I'm failing at asking people, but, like, there's some people that said they do it. Like, just leave a voicemail. Like,
Yeah.
what
Hey,
if
if you want to
there
tell us your name, tell us your name. It's okay. We don't care, but you don't have to.
is it just that people don't like leaving voicemails at all anymore? Have we like blown past the voicemail phase where everyone's just like, I'm not even going to do a voicemail for this fun thing.
I think they want their voice to be recognized because they think the entire internet's going to know who it is. But hey, it's one of those. Some people
Maybe we
like the
can
limelight.
scramble it. All right, listen, if you're listening to this, like, leave us a voicemail. We'll have
We'll
the
speed it up.
click in notes here.
Yeah, we'll speed it up and make it sound like Mickey Mouse.
Tom, good to get back on camera with you.
Yeah, man. So I'm excited. So those are the next few shows. I know, we'll dive. AI just is going to be part of our world, and we're going to keep talking about it from episode to episode, not to beat it to death, but there's always a different spin on it. And as much as I know, are you tired of talking about AI?
No, I'll never get tired of it. I have to not be tired of
it.
Visionary voices, bold breakthroughs. This is Shally's Alley, where top recruiting minds spill their best-kept secrets live every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Raw, unfiltered conversations on sourcing, hiring, and the future of talent, where we ask the tough questions no one else will. Tune in and level up.
It's not going away. So, like, a little Paylocity on all right.
Yeah,
I like the Paylocity swag.
Yeah, they sent this to me. I did the Paylocity Elevate back in November, and they sent unexpectedly. It's a nice vest.
I love the Paylocity folks. Work very closely with them, but like I got the gift today. My contact at Paylocity was like, "Hey, listen, I think we're on top of everything. You want to push this week's meeting?" And I was like, "Oh, hell yes!" So as much as I love talking to them, it was like they gave me that little gift of like, let's just not have our call today. I think we're in a good spot. And I was like, man,
fun.
Thank you so much. I love those people. Thank you, Paylocity.
Yeah, hit them up for some more swag.
talk to you next week.
They've got good stuff. They definitely, there's another outfit called Swag Magic. I met them at a conference. They've got some great stuff. The promo world is turned upside down. If you want to invest in quality stuff, that might be something. I've got a guy. We should
get an episode on that because like I got super strong. Like my opinions on like silverware going down in a dishwasher. I've got equally strong opinions on swag because there's like
I can bring us that swag magic guy.
Yeah, let's talk to this guy because there's swag I love, swag that just causes trash, swag that makes business better, and swag that makes people even more pissed because you're like, what did you just give me? Like, swag is huge. All right, let's talk about swag. Let's line that up.
All right. Before we leave that part of the conversation, favorite piece of swag?
I got a power bank that like fits onto the magnet on my phone that saved my butt. I got a t-shirt that was actually a comfortable t-shirt that fit me. Like what percentage of the t-shirts you're giving actually feel good, don't look like crap, and fit you? Like that trifecta of t-shirts is like the sweet spot. And I feel like it never happens. So I'm going to go straight up like t-shirt. My wife just got some Patagonia ones from her company that are really dope.
Nice.
It's like minimal branding too. So I'm kind of trying to get that swag. But how about you?
I think the two best pieces I got, there's if you've heard of Seek Out, at some point in my past, one of our vendors sent these backpacks, slimline
with the little pads,
but holy cow, this is an awesome bag. And I've got my Disney and Dodger pins on it, just in case you needed to know.
Gross.
But that's probably the best thing that I use the most, and I really love this vest. I've gotten other things that are fun, but those are the two that get the most use for me. And I've always been like, I think my favorite leave behind. I did a promo thing at one point where I brought trash bags for your car to people, and actually brought them actual small recyclable trash cans as a sort of a promo leave. I put a brochure in about my staffing services. I'm like, this is where this is going to end up anyway. Just give me a call first.
I was going to say, I hope that tie-ins like,
yeah. And they all laughed. I got a bunch of good chuckles out of it. People liked it. I got a bunch of conversations and customers.
Well, that's the other piece about it too, right? Is the execution of the swag.
Yeah.
It's not just the swag. It's the execution. You nailed the landing there.
Yeah. All right, man. So let's wrap up there. I don't, I'm out of topics. I went through my notes here, and I'm so glad that we got a chance to get on the horn here. Get it?
You're not getting on me. All right. Let's keep this professional. Good to get back with you, man. A quick note, Break Signals, the band that does our theme song here for the show, just had a new album on Spotify. So if you like our theme song, you can check them out. Album's called All In, starting to release some tracks. So I was accused of not being all in because I stopped going to their shows when I got married. So
we'll put a link to the show. We'll put a link to their Spotify channel here in the show notes.
Yeah, maybe I can earn my way back to being, in good graces of Break Signals. All right, Tom, it's a pleasure. Stay warm. I know it's cold up there. I'm gonna go golfing because it's 67 in Colorado, and I'll see you talking to a guest here shortly.
Yeah, we'll talk soon. Thanks, man.
Season 2. Let's go.